Hi, it's Everyman Tactical, and today I'm doing a review of the Beretta ARX 100, based on the military model ARX 160, currently being fielded by the 9th Para Infantry Regiment, Italian Army in Baghdad, Iraq right now, and they can't say enough good things about this rifle, from its weight to its durability to even on sustained fire. It doesn't heat up. It's a good rifle. So I'm going to do an end-to-end review. It's hit 2,000 rounds probably a little bit more, as to about a week and a half ago. So I just wanted to share my thoughts and talk about it a little bit. Now, I bought this for $1,400 off Gunbroker when I couldn't afford a SCAR 16 to go with my SCAR 17 because I had just bought that, and I had just bought a PS90. And I just couldn't drop another $2,400 on a rifle, so I said to save myself $1,000, spend it on ammo instead. So let me start with my favorite and coolest feature of this rifle is definitely the barrel. Now, they are going to have more barrels coming out, and I've been calling about every 2 weeks to every month since I got the rifle, and what they're doing is they're moving from Maryland right now due to the gun laws, and they're moving down to Tennessee. I think it's Middleburg, and they were supposed to have their factory set up, but due to flooding and rain delays, it took them a little bit longer. So hopefully they're telling me now that the first quarter 2016, I've already paid for one because I kept calling and they eventually let me just buy one. So I'm going to be one of the first receivers of the 300 Blackout barrel, which I'll do a whole nother review when I get that in. So let me get to my favorite feature. So one cool thing about this is it has two barrel takedown knobs right here. You pinch and you pull. This is great for cleaning, changing out calibers, because they are going to come out with a new myriad of calibers, 6.8 and 7.62x39 with a new lower. And then to put the barrel back in, it's simple. Just slide back in, give it a good yank. You don't want that barrel falling out when you send the bolt home. See, and that's my favorite feature. To continue back, I've got my these flip-up polymer front sights. They're okay, and I do like them for what they are as backup iron sights. I would never run them as a primary sight system. They're not as reliable as I'd prefer. But for a backup iron sights, they're pretty good. Now, one thing is, from the factory, this is actually a smooth handguard. And I opted to pay the extra $40 and got myself a railed handguard so that I could throw my gangster grip on there and give myself more of a CQB platform. It does have two rails on the side that are attached via hex screws, and you can get extended ones in the next couple months. They should be on the Beretta website. Going back, this rail is a solid one-piece rail. All the way, monolithic rail from the rear sight all the way to the front, which the sights are removable, so if you want to put some better iron sights on, you can. I just don't care that much. Moving back from there, you've got this is a bolt catch / bolt release. It's pretty simple because, you know, like the bad devices for the AR-15, you just push that down and it sends the bolt home. It also locks the bolt to the rear, right there. You also have another magazine / bolt release on the bottom. This does both. So if you're trying to do it one-handed, you can grab the rifle like this, yank that bolt back, and it will lock. And also for added pressure for stripping the magazine. If you get some of these this is pretty temperamental with magazines. Another cool feature is that the charging handle, which I have it on the left side, is ambidextrous. I can flip it over to the right side, give it more of an AK feel, or for you left-handers, you can flip it over to the left side or right side and push a bullet in here. This hole here will switch the ejection to the left. Right now, as it stands on right-handed with my charging handle on the left, my brass ejects good to a good 2 o'clock, so even if you're up next to somebody, they're not going to get decked with the brass. Or if you do have to switch hands, you know, you're firing around another corner, that brass is going to go off to the 2 o'clock, which gives you a good ambidextrous feel even without having to do all the extra work to make it ambidextrous. Another thing is the safety is ambidextrous, but as you can see, getting it into the fire position, let me switch sides and I'll show you. Getting it in is an easy flip, but pushing it back, I almost feel like I'm a lefty. You know, I have to use this finger to push it back up into the safe position. Not a big deal. I'm more worried about it going on the fire as quickly as possible than going back onto safe. But, you know, if that's a big concern, I'm sure, you know, eventually they're going to start coming out with products for this, especially with how popular it's becoming. Another cool feature is it does have a folding buttstock, which does allow it to be fired, but don't fire your weapon from a folded position. It's just weird, and you look like you're in a 1980s action movie. So just to flip it back open, there you go. The buttstock is pretty adjustable, though it is short. I've had people who were taller than me tell me that even all the way out, you know, because I shoot it all the way out, and I'm 5'6", so I can only imagine you're 6'1", 6'2". You're going to be in a more of a compressed position, almost like me with this and the CQB. So I understand some complaints with that. Now it does have the European sling system, which I don't usually run. It does extra sling points here and here, which kind of guide it around essential items, but I don't actually run it as a 3-point. I just run it as a 2-point. It comes with this sling in the box, along with a nice embroidered Beretta padded case. Right now I'm running a Trijicon Trijicon Reflex 1x24 with the tritium power and the solar power. I love this sight so far. Even with a red dot, I'm holding 1.5, 2 MOA at 100 yards, which for a Generation 4 assault rifle, a bad rifle, that's pretty good. Including my my IO AK shot maybe 2.5, 2 on the best. Another thing is it's pretty forgiving when it comes to reloads. I've shot some of my higher velocity. I've shot everything from 45 grain all the way up to 75 grain Sierra Match Kings. It was okay with the Sierra Match Kings, but let me tell you, it really rocked those 62 grains, just regular green tips. It loved them. That's actually what I was getting the better groups with, which is surprising because out of my wife's M4, it likes the 75 grain Sierra Match Kings. Pretty much the only other thing about this rifle is it is picky on mags. It comes with a standard aluminum mag, USGI Stanag mag, but I managed to find some Magpul Gen 2s, which will function in the rifle. As long as they don't have that over insertion tab. I have heard the Troy battle mags also work. Let me see if I can locate one of my mags here. See, these Gen 2 mags, see, it doesn't have the over insertion tag. This will load into the rifle fairly well and, you know, function pretty flawlessly. I did forget to mention that it does have a standard magazine catch right here. You don't have to use the in and strip, but it is a nice feature. So overall, good gun, best priced Generation 4 adaptive carbine on the market. You can either spend the extra $1,000, get your SCAR, spend an extra $600, $700, $800 and get your ACR and never get a new barrel for it, because let me tell you what, I've been emailing Bushmaster for years. They're not coming out with new barrels, buddy. Sorry, not gonna happen. These guys, very responsive. Their customer service is absolutely amazing. I've called a couple times, a few times, to try to get that 300 blackout barrel, and they do answer. They finally agreed to send me one of the first batches, along with a 6.8 in the coming years. So, like I said, if you're looking for a Generation 4 combat rifle, that is just you know, a hell of a performer. The Italians have used it in combat in the sandy, dusty, dirty environments of Iraq, like we all know, and that usually eats weapons up. This, very open design. It's very reliable. I haven't done any reliability testing because I'm not going to pour mud into one of my own weapons. So, but from their reviews, way better than what they were using. They were using M4s in transition and they didn't like them. They did end up liking this one. So as far as a combat rifle, shit hits the fan, whatever, defending the household, this is a great rifle. It's gonna last you a long time. These barrels are chrome lined, they're great. So anyway, Everyman Tactical, anyway, go out and buy one of these. They're awesome.